try this again. Okay, so we've got transformations, okay, and what I show you here will be a couple of different things that you can be able to, they're kind of like, they're generalizations, kind of like shortcuts, but no matter what, you can just put them in your calculator into graphs. So one more time, you can just use your calculator the whole time, okay? There are a couple words you do need to know, like narrow. That means more skinny, okay? More skinny this way, okay? It's also called to stretch something, because when you stretch it out, it gets skinnier. And wider, which means fatter, or you might see compression. So again, I'm going to show you these notes, but you could do everything I show you on the calculator, and it'll give you the same answer. Okay, so just type it into graphs. Type in both equations into graphs. Alright, so there's two types of equations that you're going to see. So let's show you now. Okay, so first one, second one. Okay, so first one looks like this: y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And we've done that before when we did the quadratic formula. Okay, we talked about a, we talked about c. So three things can change. First thing, change the sign of a. Okay, we're just looking at positive to negative, or from negative to positive. Okay, so what happens when we change the sign of a? When we change the sign, the graph is reflected. Okay, that means that it's up and now it's down, or the other way. So reflection. Okay, when we change the sign, there's a reflection. What happens next if we're looking at the number? Okay, so the value. Okay, just the digit. Okay, so if we're looking, if it changes from -3 to 7, here we're looking at negative to positive. Here we're looking at 3 to 7. Okay, so if a gets bigger, a can get smaller. So let's do an example. Let's say they give you y equals 3x squared plus 7x plus 10. Okay, y equals 3x squared plus 7x plus 10. So what I do is, like I've done before, this is my x squared, so I circle it. This is my x, so I squiggly. This is my 10, so I underline. Okay, let's type that in here. We go to new document, not going to save, add graphs, 3x squared plus 7x plus 10. Alright, so press enter, okay, press tab, and I'm going to make this a, which is the one I circled, 3, bigger. So 7x squared plus 7x plus 10. Okay, I went from 3 to 7. Press enter. I can't see it, so I'm going to press menu, and I'm going to zoom out. Okay, can you see them now? There's the blue one, the first one, and then there's the other one. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so I can compare them, is I'm going to click on this one, the red. I'm going to put it so they're exact same place. And you can see, if you can't, I'm going to zoom in, just so you can see it. Okay, look. This red one is skinnier. It's more narrow. So, if A is bigger, it's more narrow. And if it's smaller, it's wider. Why? Because when you have a graph, okay, these are values. This is a value maybe 10, but if it gets bigger, then it's not going to be at 10 anymore. It's going to be at like 15. 15 is way up here. And so that means it gets skinnier. Okay? If the value changes to, because we're talking about these values, alright? If it changes to 5, 5 is over here. Makes it wider. Okay? We're talking about the values. Alright, so one more time. You change the sign of A, it makes it reflect from up to down. If A is bigger, it gets more skinny, more narrow. If it's smaller, it gets more wide. Alright, what about the last part? What if we change the C? Okay, C. So let's type in a new one. Okay, I can add a new document by pressing Control Document. I'm going to add graphs. And I'm going to type in here 5x squared plus 10. Okay, so if I put in there 5x squared plus 10, alright, I circle, there's no x, so no squiggly, I underline. Let's make that C, let's change that C to something smaller, maybe like 2. Same thing, this is the only one that's different. Okay, so press enter on the first one, press tab, type in the second one, 5x squared plus 2. Type in plus 2. Okay, can't see anything, can't see both, so I press menu, zoom, I'm going to zoom out. Okay, there's the first one, that's the second one. So it just went down. So if A is bigger, sorry, C is bigger, it shifts up. If C is smaller, it shifts down. So let's kind of review. If the sign of A changes, it reflects up to down. If the value of A changes, wider, more narrow if it's bigger. C just moves it up and down. Alright, the second type of equation is y equals ax minus h squared plus k. And I will do another video on that one.